Hey y'all, welcome back. I just wanted to pop in and say hey and just come up with another like fun, funky look. So let's get started. So first thing, we're gonna prep the face. Start with our witch hazel here. So let me get my handy dandy sponge. I'm almost out of these, thankfully, because these are not my favorite. But it's just your basic round. It's got the exfoliating side, fresh side. Usually for this first part, I like to use the exfoliating side so it really, kind of picks up whatever junk and gunk might be in my pores, in my skin. I probably should have done this. I did a little bit of dermaplaning today. So I probably should have done this, or left it done rather, prior to that, because I am getting a little bit tingly, but that's okay. All right. Face is clear of the junk and gunk. Next, we are going to move on to now putting back some moisture and kind of building up that base. So, always start with my aloe. And I use, again, the Holika. I try to take as little as possible, but I always end up with a little too much. But it's fine because I use this on my face and my hair. Aloe's good stuff. Very, very good stuff. So, all those little tingly places are going to be soothed. Now that I have that aloe going, get some on the back of my neck just cuz. Okay, all right. So now I'm going to start with my sunflower sweet serum just to get some nice moisture on. I always love using serums. They feel so good going on the skin, and this one in particular feels really, really good, but it has some skin clearing properties that are beneficial when used regularly. This is by Ayele & Co. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Ayele. I'm calling it Ayele & Co. And if it's not, you can just Google them. Okay? All right. Last but not least, you know what? I don't know that I want to add another layer this evening. So I'm going to just finish off with my Caudalie grape water spray. Just to kind of refresh the face and give it a nice spritz of moisture. So I will fan this until this dries down, and then we will start on our brows. I usually like to start with my brows first because depending on the kind of products that you use, it's gonna determine like the lasting and the staying power of the tools and the products that you're using. And for me, I really want to give that new Anastasia brow freeze, the good old college try. I didn't really have a ton of success, but it's new to everyone. It's new to me. It could be user error, but I really want to just give it a try and give it every best effort. That's why I cleaned up my brows, so that way it'd have a smoother surface to start with, and also less hair. So if the goal is to kind of freeze it in place, there's less to do that with. So, all right. Ooh, my face is feeling so moist and so good. Gosh, that grape water spray is just, it's refreshing. It is so refreshing. I'm nice and cool. All right, so quick water break, and then we will get started. Okay, just a sip. All right, give me just a second. So, oh, I don't know if you could see, I got my first COVID shot today. Yay! One step closer to being into the out. I don't know if you guys have seen, what is the name of that movie? With the little alien guy and Rihanna was singing and playing that one character. Oh gosh. Anyhow, it'll come to me. Let's get going. So, I first want to just kind of brush through my brows and just kind of prep them for the process. Because when you use this brow freeze, it is being, brushed up and through, but my brows, have mercy, have been really just unruly. And so I don't know if they're the whole problem, but we're gonna give it a whirl. I am also going to incorporate another pencil, because with my last video I used the brow freeze and I also used the NYX Lift and Snatch, which I like, and I like for the little marks that it does kind of throughout. But you know me, I'm all about the Instabrow, so I will probably still be using my pencil from Anastasia just to, create kind of that outline and then fill in with the Lift and Snatch. But we're going to wing it. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so I'm going to open the wax. That's what that looks like. You can see I've already gone in with my spoolie, and that's what we shall do again. Just kind of picking up a little bit on the brush. Excuse me, because I'm making sure that my brush can handle the job today. I don't think so. Okay, new eyebrow brush. Where are you? I'm just going to use this one. This is just on the end of another brow product that I ran out of. Oh, maybe I didn't. Sweet. Okay. Anyway, I'm just going to use its spoolie because that's all that's required for this part. So I'm just kind of taking a little bit of wax there. And I'm going to start sweeping my brows. Sweeping that kind of through, just so the product is on there. And now I'm going to go back through and really just kind of brush it up. You see? Okay. For any hairs that didn't come up, it's okay to go back and get a little bit more wax on there. But I am just kind of brushing it up and out. Up and out. I'm going to get a little bit more wax though, because as you can kind of see right through here, my brows have decided that that's not what it wants to do. And that's the problem I was having. And again, I'm not going to say, oh, well, it's the wax, it's the wax, it's the wax. Ladies and gents, we know our own brows. And mine happen to have cowlicks and be extremely unruly. But this isn't, it's not so bad, but this is the kind of the result here of that first go around. And now we're going to repeat on the other side here. But you can see, like, it just, boy, my brows look so much, I mean, it's defined, but like it looks like I have more brow, which, I guess it just depends on what you're into. For me, that's a really good thing. I love a nice big bold brow. That's my bag. So Anything that's going to help with that, great. So this side, it's going pretty good so far. So far, so good. And I may add a little bit more onto the tail here, not a whole lot. Not a lot, baby girl, just a little bit. Don't mind me. Okay. Okay. This brow over here is still kind of playing games, so I'm just gonna be consistent and go over it again with a little bit more wax, but I don't know. And this is the other reason why I like to do this part first, because like, remember how I was saying, depending on the product, this is not the kind of product, in my opinion anyway, that I want to have going over my foundation or anything like that, because I just foresee this getting a little bit disorderly and dysfunctioned, and the whole point of investing this amount of time in brow shaping and brow shading and all of that is to have a, you know, clear, you know, well-structured look. So, okay. All right, I'm going to set these with spray because I do not want them going anywhere. I will use my Slay the Season by NYX Matte Finish Long Lasting Spray. So, just spritz and really fan this down so it doesn't disturb what we have going on here. You know, I've heard of people kind of spritzing through every step of the process, and I used to think it was crazy until you really start to invest in the process. You know, anytime that you're spending the kind of time that, you know, you want to just kind of leisurely playing in makeup, it's like, you know, reward yourself. Like, all that hard work deserves some type of staying power. So, but I am feeling this, like my brows, I like a bigger brow to kind of fit my face overall. So this look I'm really, really here for. So next thing, I'm going to start working on the shape. So I have the Anastasia Brow Wiz pencil, and I'm going to take that and just kind of see where everything's supposed to be. So first things first, I know if you haven't already seen my previous videos, I'll go over this. The structure of your brows is going to be based on the structure of your face in its entirety. To figure out where your starting point should be, it should be aligned with the sides of the middle portion of your nose here. So mine is set here. So I'll set my pencil right in the groove and mark just above the brow area. Okay. I don't know if you could see that. I don't know if I could see it, but I know where it is. And then I will go and do the same thing on the other side. Now, it does look a little bit narrow, sure, but in the overall balance and structure of your face, go with what works on your face. Okay. Now, the arch goes across your nostril and across. Oh, yeah. Sorry. across the center of your eye. So mine, although my natural arch is kind of somewhere in here, the one that we're drawing should peak right about there. I don't know that we could see that there. Okay. And then lastly, just at the edge of your nose, corner of your eye. And that should be about there. Is where the brow should end. So we're starting here, working our way to here, and then down to finish there. Same thing on this side. The arch is right at the middle nostril, across the middle of the eye. So mine are a little bit wider out than, you know, I had anticipated, but it always ends up working out. So, okay, so now that that's marked, this is where I start to draw my lines. So now the shape of the brow that I like to have it descended a little bit in the front. So that way it creates a nice smooth arch and then down. So I start a little bit low, just at the line here. I'm going to go down and make little brow marks down until I get to my actual brow. You know, I usually clean this up at some point with like a spoolie, and obviously with concealer underneath, just to kind of make sure everything's smooth, but you can kind of see where the brow just kind of goes boop. And then I'm going to start towards the middle where my peak is, and then just draw that line down to my stop point here. Okay. Now I am going to use the lift and snatch to kind of create these lines that go in between here, but just so I can see what we're looking at, I'm going to just draw a little bit of a line from the center here, where my arch is supposed to be, and draw it down to meet the end. So you can see we're just kind of creating that structure. Also, I tend to get a little bit sparse at the top. So I will kind of just gently draw that over all the way to the peak. And then that line should already be ready to connect down. But it will be filled in with that other product. So, same over here. We're going to start at the center and bring that down. Start at that arch point and bring that down. Okay. Now, we're going to go back to the middle now. And again, just kind of try your best to line those up. And then I draw lines either up or down, whichever is comfortable for you. I'm just doing this because I had that lined up there. Now I may actually go a little bit deeper on this one. Let's see if that'll do it. Yeah. Because like I said, I'm trying to create that effect that the brows just kind of go up to meet. And then I'm not as sparse through here as I am on this side, so where I've kind of tried to give some direction to where I want the hair to go. This one's okay. Just a little light direction, and then just to the very end, making sure that this all gels together. So now we're going to start filling it in. Now this is a very fine tipped gel pen, and it just takes so much of a light stroke before it just, you know, starts creating those hairs. And for me, I am not the most gently handed persons. So creating looks with this where I'm not like totally obliterating the look, which I don't know how successful we're going to be. But it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough. Worst case scenario, again, like I am not afraid to say, you know what, this isn't working for me. Let me go to what works, which for me, what works is my dip brow. But as you can see, I mean, it filled those little hairs in. I like going in multiple directions, not just up, because in this case, the way that your hair grows is almost in a crosshatch underneath your brows. If you ever kind of take a look at them, like where you could brush them up or you could brush them down. So I'm just trying to mimic some of those natural strokes of hair. And then once it cleans up, it's going to be so cute. All right, now this side. Boy, are we naked or are we naked over here? Yeah, I've got quite a few hairs missing on that side. I had a snag a few weeks ago, which was hilarious because I was dermaplaning and I had this new tool I was using and I was telling my best friend all about it. Like, oh girl, thank you so much. These like work like a charm. And I said, I even managed to, you know, kind of finesse my little brows. And as I'm, you know, talking on the phone, running my mouth and gabbing and telling her all about it, I sliced through my brow. Like straight up. And she's like, Kim, did you happen to see the eyebrow guard that comes with that dermaplane razor? I said, girl, what eyebrow guard? Yeah, so note to self and everybody else out there, look, keep your eyes open. If you like your brows and you don't want to have them a hot, unruly mess, pay attention, or faites attention. Okay. All right, so I am going to just lightly go through here and brush everything up. And then we're going to get to the cleanup phase. So all in all, not too bad. I'm still getting used to this style of brow. It's different. It's different, but it is voluminous, which I like. I do like that a lot. So, alrighty. So for underneath the brow, I'm gonna go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Pro Pencil. This is in base 2, and I'm just going to underline where I've gone with my brow, and on this side too. Okay, and on the top I've been using this Trestique, which is just kind of a darker shade, and I'm again going over this outlined area to frame that brow. So then once I blend both the top and the underside out, what we should be left with is two beautifully sculpted brows. That's the goal. It's always the goal. All right, so let's start with the underside of this one. I'm just going to take this brush and brush it down to get as much of the product down, and then I'm going to turn it to the side and sweep it back. The reason I don't want to sweep it back immediately, because I had a lot underneath there, but I didn't want it to get caught anywhere in the brows. I really want this to kind of blend out as best as it can. And then some into my lid because it acts as like that first layer for my eyeshadow look. Okay. All right. Next eye, we're just going to take some of this product and, like I said, blend it down as best we can. And it's okay if it looks kind of messy and junky. I mean, we're going to go back through with a few different tools and techniques, and just to kind of bring the whole look together. So I'm not really worried about, you know, what's going under like foundation and all of that. I ain't worried about it. Okay, there we are. Okay, so now I'm just gonna blend out the top, and this, as you can see, I'm brushing up and out, up and out, up and out. And it may look a little bit junky, but all of this is going to be covered with foundation, so we're good there. And I'm really trying to get precise with these ends because I like a nice sharp brow. Okay, and then to the other side, again, just brushing up and out, up and out. Getting down the middle. All right, just making sure these lines look good. Gotta do a little bit more blending out on this side. Okay, so I think I'm going to go back in here because, as you can see, this is kind of pulling a little bit more center. That may change when the foundation lays, but I want to even this up while we have the opportunity to kind of get some of this laid down here. All right. And I am going to go back in with my cleanup brush and just take that down to make sure the bottom is nice and smooth, and the top as well. And this one here too. It's a little bit better. A little bit, a little bit, a little bit. These are my favorite things, so we'll spend a little bit of extra time getting this down. It is just because, again, it is one of my favorite steps. Okay. All right. So next thing we are going to do is work on a eyeshadow look. Okay. So last time I think we did the Tartiste Pro to Go. Let's look at I don't know that I want to do this one. Oh, here we go. I have a palette from Too Faced. This is the Papaya Pop eyeshadow palette. It's got a couple really pretty, really fun shades. Let's play. Let's see what we can do. So, first things first, base. Add some base. This is the NYX Proof It Waterproof Eyeshadow Primer. So I'm going to add this to the brow, and you can use a flat eyeshadow brush to blend this out. You can use your fingers, whatever suits your fancy. Just make sure that it covers all the areas of your eyelid where you're going to be putting that eyeshadow. So I'm just going to blend this out with my pinky. Just using gentle taps to kind of spread this product around. And the same on this side. Now the eyeshadow primer is supposed to give your eyeshadow more staying power, more, maybe not necessarily more pigmentation, but it does kind of, because it has something to grip onto, you would be noticing those colors a little bit more than you would if you were just putting them on your bare skin. But as this dries down, this gets a little tacky, and that is what adheres to the shadow, or rather the shadows adhere to. So once that is kind of spread around there, we're going to get into our color. So for the mid-tone, I'm going to pull from this little pink here. Take a nice little fluffy brush and just kind of blend that, lay it in the crease, and then we will blend it out for sure. Okay. Just give it a nice blend to kind of move that shadow and make sure that we're not creating like a harsh center line. And we're going to pick up more and get that going on the other side as well. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Too Faced palettes, but they smell amazing. I have their chocolate gold, which smells just like chocolate. This one, it smells very fruity, but it does have that kind of very distinctive papaya note to it. It's so yummy smelling. I mean, I don't recommend you sitting here like all day, but if that was a deciding factor in somebody's world, is like, but does it smell good? Well, yeah, sis, it does. It really does. So right now I'm just kind of trying to buff this out a little bit before we get to our next shade. All right. All right, so now I'm going to pull a little bit from this a darker shade. And this I'm going to go sweep down the lid and up into the corner. Well, out from the corner rather. So sweeping up and out and down. So really, really shaping the eye there. I love that this color is almost like a deepened version of the first. It's so warm and so pretty. And again on this side here, just out and down and up and in. And I was brushing some of that up on the other side. So I will do that here as well. Okay, so I think we are ready to move on to a new shade. I really want to plop this. I'm going to take a flat brush because I really want to plop some of this glittery shade on there. Let's see. Oh yeah, this will do. I'm going to take some of this shimmer and just go right on the center. And then blending out from the inner corner. Super pretty. I love that. Love it, love it. And now we'll just repeat. Rinse and repeat. I mean, boy, like if you want glitter, girl, this is it. This is it. All right, guys, let's see. So I've got the base here and I want to add some dimension. There is that deeper purple. And I'm going to take a smaller brush and really just try and kind of work that darker shade into the crease to add some overall depth. Okay. Add a little more in the kind of corner pocket here and then just bring it right back up and through. Okay. And then again on the other side. I'm just going to brush that up and through. So that way it just kind of gives us a little bit more depth. Now, if this was something like I, had an event during the day, I would still use the fun pop of color. I would just probably do like a light liner and some like, light lashes or what have you. But just adding this little depth. You could take like a cutesy little day look, you know, to dinner with the boyfriend, you know. There we go. All right. So I am going to go back to another fluffy brush. I'm going to use my color changer here to kind of blend some of this out a little better at the top here. Okay. And now I am gonna not get my lid stuck to other metal containers. All right. So I think that is good for now. Let's look at liner. We're gonna go back in with this a little bit later because I do want to do some fun stuff kind of underneath the eye and in the corner and with lashes. But for right now, let's get the liner going. So for eyeliner, let's see, I'll be right back. Okay, for eyeliner, I think we're going to use our Il Maquillage. Yeah, use the Il Maquillage. Just a little liquid pen tip, and I like to go little section by little section because you know, for those of us who aren't like the greatest at liner, going it chunk by chunk is a good way to keep everything together and not super chunky, because with eyeliner it's like, okay, well, if you overdo it, honey, you're gonna be out of luck. So yeah, I just kind of try and do like little section by little section if you can. And if you're one of those girls that can go straight across with no issue, then lucky you. Okay. All right, so now let's do a little bit of a wing. Let's see how we do. Let's see how we do. So I'm going to start at the corner of my eye and just kind of go upwards to a little point here, just as high as I kind of want to have it. Actually, I'm gonna follow the line of my lower line and go right up to the point where that shadow is and bring it down. So you can see that's what the wing is going to do, okay? And then you go from that point diagonally down all the way until it comfortably connects with the line you've already created. If you need to extend it, extend it. But make sure that line meets. And then fill it in. Okay. You can make it thicker if you want to. I think I'm going to go a little bit further in on mine, but it's just a line just right up next to the one that I just made to kind of thicken that out. And then I will be bringing it to connect with what I had. And there you go. Okay. You can always to clean these up. Like there's no right or wrong. It's just, listen, if you're happy, we happy. So I will probably gonna clean that up because I like that nice sharp top and bottom to it. So what I will do, I'm gonna take a little bit of my concealer, not a bright one, but one that's probably closer to me. And matter of fact, I may just take a little bit of my stick foundation and just kind of run my brush over it and just hover over the area that was not quite as sharp as I like, and just try and get that to correct. And then I'm going to line that entire section here. So it just kind of sharpens what we did. And you see, this is, again, this is another reason why I do a lot of this without putting my foundation on, because could you imagine? Now, some girls have that, you know, like, oh, you know, I got it, this is easy. Yay! But for me, I make a mess. And it's so much easier just to kind of clean everything up and then finalize the look with that nice flawless finish. So, but this works for me. Okay. And it doesn't leave a whole lot of evidence behind. It's just like, oh, well, look, yeah, got a nice clean little thing going here. And if you want, you can still kind of like buff a little bit of that color over where the white or the tan or whatever shade, you know, concealer that you've used over it, because that's where it would have been anyway. Okay, so now on to the next side. Again, I followed the lower line here up and brought that down, and then from that corner across. This one I already started out a little bit thicker to try and match what we had going on, and I think I might have not done it. We'll see. We shall see. I think this one might be a little bit higher. It is by a little bit. Okay. Okay, never fear, dolls. We will fix that too. Huh. Okay. Let's see what we can do. So as you can see off top, we already have a couple things to kind of correct, but that's the beauty of just being able to kind of play. You can take that time and, you know, really figure out what works, what doesn't, that doesn't, but that's okay. because these are easy peasy fixes. Don't get your hair involved either. Okay. I think I'm going to fill in a little bit more here, but I think that pretty much is as close as I'm going to get today, and that's okay. I'm not going to stress or cry because my wings, you know, kind of took flight at different levels. You know, it takes practice. It takes practice, so I'm going to give myself a pat on the back. It's not bad for what we were trying to do. And it looks fairly even. Fairly. It's fairly. All right, so now that that's done, our next to do, I'm not going to do the under eye portion yet, and the reason being is because, again, that layer of foundation needs to go kind of under there, and I don't want to mess that up. So let's start with our primer. So I'm going to use the Too Faced Plump and Prime, since we're going Too Faced right now, and just get a little bit on each cheek and each area that's gonna be covered. Get a little more here, a little more there. And take my third finger and just kind of blend that out and over the skin. Even this smells good. I wonder who in Too Faced Lab said, you know what we need to do? We need to make everything smell good. I mean, the products work, but let's give them a freebie. Let's give them a bonus. Let's make this smell delicious. Okay. Now you can start to kind of see our little face coming together. I'm also going to put a little bit on my under the neck because I actually do blend my makeup down right at the jawline. Okay. So, let's see. Our foundation choice for today. Let's go with the Estee Lauder Double Wear. This is a really, really good one. I was online the other day and it actually was advertised to me, but I had to leave a comment because I've been using this foundation off and on for better part of 11 years. When I went, actually 12 years. When I went into labor with my daughter in the hospital, I said, oh, you guys are going to take pictures of me. I don't want to have a girl's face. Let me just slap something together. Yeah, I did. In the hospital bed, no drugs, just sitting there like, hey, excuse me, nurse, can you shine that light over here so I can... And she did. And I got to beat my little face until I went into more intense labor and had to stop. But 16 and a half hours of natural labor, and then in one C-section later, ta-da! I had a baby and was still flawless. So, if you're looking for something that has some staying power that is somewhat transfer resistant, full coverage, ladies, full coverage. This is it. Double Wear. It is stay in place makeup, and they mean that. So, I'm going to use, actually, I want to use one of my new blenders. I got these cute little babies. These are Beauty Bakery organic blending eggs. And I am going to use one for today's pursuit. So, I'm just going to grab this one. This one actually, is the tone of my foundation. So let's, well, just about, but let's see what she does. I'm going to go wet this, and I will be right back momentarily. Actually, I'm going to open it. There we go. Neatly and hygienically packaged away. So, all right. Be right back. Now, on first use, look at the size of that. Let me just show you a comparison, because the thing about using a moist blender, it helps to really like blend these products out. But look, that kind of coverage is going to take you places. So, without further ado, I'm just going to take some and put it on my sponge. Not a whole lot, because I don't like to waste makeup. And I'm just going to kind of dab it in different areas around my face. See, even with that little dollop, the way that this blender is set up, I may actually have too much, so I'm going to start spreading some of this around my neck, because the coverage is good, and I'm already pleased with this blender. So I am just light taps blending this out. This, ooh, I may be ready for my summer shade, because this is coming across extremely fair. Well, we're gonna, I will show you today then, you know, because I get it, not everybody can, you know, be replacing makeup like that. So if you're somebody that, you know, definitely needs a winter and a summer shade, but you don't have the winter and the summer shade budget, I'm going to show you a couple tricks that you can use to kind of cheat the system. You know, because if you're already using like bronzers and contours and things like that, you can use that to kind of shape out stuff that like what happens here. But even with it being like a little bit too fair, you could see the amount of coverage from what my face looked like before to where we're at right now. Yeah. All right, let me get this last little section. Blend it out. Just holding my hair back so I don't get it all in my little hairline. So, there we go. Well, that's pretty much all blended out. So now I will be showing you my contour because I look ghostly pale. All right. Let me cap my foundation. Now, everybody does their contour differently. I have a couple. So I have where I'll use like the NYX Conceal, Correct, and Contour palette. As you can see, I've got a couple shades that I favor, but using like a shade like this one for, you know, contouring here and here, across the top, across my nose, and all of that. I also have these shade sticks from Juvia's Place. I have two that are, you know, kind of closer match my base tone, but then I have one that's kind of a nice chocolatey color that I think we're going to use today. And then, yeah, that's the other one that matches my tone. But then I also picked up this, and we used that in the last video, I believe, this palette from, it's a face palette from Morphe. And this one, basically by using a powder, will do kind of that same thing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the stick first, but then once we kind of set the face, if I need to go back into deepen areas with that powder, I will. So for the contour, I usually like to make sure that I start kind of at my cheek, so I will make a little fish face. Actually, there we go. Make a fish face and draw that line about halfway in, and then I'll make little lines going up. Okay. Repeat other side, little lines going up. And then across the forehead, I usually like to narrow this part more. So I'll take 2 horizontal lines down, okay, and then make little vertical lines going across. And then same through here, just little dots or lines kind of outlining that area. Sometimes I won't do the bottom, but I think just to show you it all, let's go ahead and do it. So now how you contour your face is going to be tailored to what your face shape is. I have a round face, and so I like to sculpt and pretend like I have a jawline. It's there. It's there. It's just, you know, she's kind of covered under a few things. It's all good. So I like to create mine with a very straight line down, and it kind of stops it under my chin because I also contour my chin too. And same thing, we're going to continue with those little lines. Down this side and up that side. And now for the chin, I imagine having kind of like a V, so I will draw that. Just like that, okay? At this point you can contour your nose. We'll go ahead and do it because we're already here. So I maintain that same line, just that right at that middle section of my nose where you see the natural creasing already. And just draw the line down. Connect the bulb and do one across the top. Okay? Okay, next thing is to take that blender, which I think, yep, still moist. And we're just gonna tap it to blend. Now this is probably going to take a minute because again, I was a very unnatural shade for me. And I want to blend this to where it looks like we were just highlighting those areas instead of like I actually thought that that foundation would work right now. Okay. And it's okay if it's not like perfect because again, we're going to be going over this with powder at some point. So just get as much done as you can and then just kind of check back and see what needs more blending. Are there areas that need to be, you know, re-highlighted because we've now gone over it with this darker shade. You know, just kind of figure out what does your face need. But so far so good. It's adding some pigment back to my skin. So again, it looks like we were just kind of playing with a contour and highlight. And this, like I said, instead of like, I'm going to buy, two 40 some odd dollar things of foundation, that I bought one, and then that Juvia stick is no more than like $16, not on sale. So, if that's what you can afford and that's what you want to try and do it. Save yourself some ends, because again, the foundation takes a long time to get through, and as you can see, we didn't use a ton of this shade stick, so it's not like that itself is also not going to last for a very long time, because at this rate it will. I mean, always follow the instructions on the packaging, because they do have a shelf life, but you're not going to be like, oh, well, only using this for, 3 months out of the year, and then I just got to toss it. No, now the 12 months that it says it's going to last, it can last. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but if I find a pack, actually, I have one right here. If you look on any of the packaging for your products, let's see, can I get it? I don't know if you could see it where it says 12M and it has this little container here. That means that your item, whatever the month mark is in there, that tells you how long it lasts for. Because, these products, they do have kind of chemicals in them to maintain their preservation. They have preservatives. It's preservatives to keep them fresh, but you want to be sure that you're following when it says they're going to expire, so you're not using old makeup that could cause, like, issues, bacteria, kind of. Well, don't want to do that. Okay. So far, we're doing okay. I am having a little bit of a time with this kind of under area here. But that's okay, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back in with a lighter shade and just kind of shade, brighten here and brighten in there to kind of bring that together. So let me just finish with the nose. And then we'll move on to that. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. That's not it. Panama. Here we go. So I'm just going to take this and just kind of run this through here. Run that through there. And a little bit down the center. And right in the middle of what my V would be. Okay. And I'm going to just blend this. Down as much as I can. Alright, so the very last thing we're going to do on this, I see some spots that I want to kind of spot conceal. And I do have, like I said, I have a couple of these foundation sticks that are in my exact shade. And so I'm going to use that to spot correct on my face. So I think we'll use this one here. This is, oh no, that's Panama. I must have skipped right over it. There it is. It's Mozambique. And I'm going to spot correct there. Whatever this weird thing is doing here. Here. Just kind of checking for little problem areas that we could easily blend out. Okay. And now we take our sponge and just gently blend. Now before we get to the under the eye look, I'm going to use a little bit of concealer to brighten that area up, and then some setting powder to make sure that that stays in place once we go through with this eyeshadow underneath there. Okay, so I'm pretty okay with where we are here. Yeah, we're getting there. All right, so next, let's see what we shall use. I think I don't know how much I have of this left because I like it so much. No, give me just a second here. I don't have a whole lot of this one either, but we'll try it. I have the LA Girl Pro Conceal HD concealer. I'm going to add that to my shopping list because I love a good concealer, and it's easy to tell by the lack of it in my drawer because I just go through it. So anyhow, just going to get a little bit to brighten underneath my eyes. And you guessed it, we are going to use the heck out of that beauty blender. Homegirl is getting put to work. Okay. I mean, you could just see how much it just brightens up the whole look. Just kind of tapping it in there. Okay. Now next we're going to use a powder to set under the eye. So I am going to use my Makeup Revolution banana powder. Now this can get a little messy, I'm not going to lie. I just usually like to tap some out into the cap here. And take like a mid-sized brush and just tap that on underneath. Okay. We're going to let this sit for just a minute. I think I want to get a little bit more under there. Okay. All right. And now we wait. But in the meantime, let's plop something on these lips, because that is super important when you want to have a nice base for your lip looks. It always starts with moisture, 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 moisture. Okay. This is from the Maui Soap Company. Their Mango, Coconut, and Beeswax lip balm. I have a couple. They're really, really yummy, but their soaps are amazing. Oh my gosh. They have these little soaps that have a loofah encased in the soap. So while you're washing, you're scrubbing and you're getting all nice and soft and smooth, and it's got kukui oil in it. Just parfait. Smells really, really good. Like my whole closet smells tropical and breezy and fruity and tasty and all of that. It's great. Excellent. Okay, so while we're waiting on that, maybe let's do our lashes. Yeah, we can. We can. All right, folks, you already know I bought like a 50 pack of lashes off of Amazon for like 13 bucks. These aren't like, you know, the end all be all of lashes, but if you like wearing them or practicing them for wear, using them for wear, you know, 12 bucks isn't a whole lot to fork over for this many. So you've got a bunch of different looks in one. So it's like 10 pair of 5 different varieties. I think I'm going to use these fun little, I always love the wispy ones. That's my bag. And so for these, you want to measure these up against your eye to make sure that you're not going to have excess anywhere, and then trim them to match. So I usually like to measure them to the edge just for me, because that's where I like my volume at. And this one is going to need a little bit of a trim. So let me grab I have scissors. See, we may have to improvise because I think I have moved my scissors to a place I don't recognize. Anyhow, the show must go on. I just took my tweezers and pinched the area that I want to pull off, if you will, tightly. And that didn't do it. It did. It's just going slowly. Okay. Okay, so we're trimmed. Gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. But okay, so we're trimmed a little bit. And I have this Eyelure 18-hour lash glue. I did go back to, I was using the Kiss pencil. I did go back to using just the regular glue, not for anything, but I just wanted to kind of review the differences. So this works. The other way works too. It's easy, but with the Kiss, the instructions are to put those lashes on before you do your whole look, and you know, the likelihood of me remembering by the time I get done with my eyeliner and all of that. So this, you just kind of spread a little bit on there. You can see it's kind of blue. And we wait for that to dry down some before it gets applied. Now, for me, I'm not perfect at this. This is by no means my specialty, but I try. And that's literally all this takes is just a little bit of effort. So, what I like to do, I like to apply it in the corner first. And then that way, I know some people apply it in the middle first. Mine always ends up wonky. I'm like, no, we're going to pick the edge where we know where it fits, where exactly it sits, and then work our way across. So wait till it's a little bit transparent, and then we lay them down. So you can see it's a lot less blue. So let's have at it, folks. So I, again, find the corner of my eye and lay this as close to the lash line as possible. And I pinch there because now as I go across, I can just take my fingers, you know, and pinch, pinch, pinch to where I need it to be. And we have a lash. That actually worked. Oh, that actually worked a lot cleaner than I was intending. Wow. Okay. Usually it's not that polite, but I won't say a word if you won't. Okay. We have a lash, ladies and gentlemen. So now, on to the next side. Once again, we're gonna improvise on the trimmings. I wish I had my scissors, it's so much easier. But alas, we will make do. The Lord provides. Alright, this one's being a toughie. Okay. Alright. So we're all trimmed up. This, maybe I need to trim it a little more. Okay, got the lash, same process. We are going to take the glue and just kind of outline the top there. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. I couldn't tell if their brush was like a plastic applicator or if it was an actual brush that may have gotten like clumped together, but it does spread on pretty okay. It's not too bad. I'll report back on this whole 18-hour business. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right. So, we'll just keep blowing until it dries down. As you can see, it's still very blue. Kind of wondering what we're going to do for a lippy today. I don't know. I want to go dark, but I have this really, like, my favorite Juvia lip gloss that I want to throw on here. We'll see. Alright, we're starting to get to it here. It's more so on this side. It's becoming more transparent and less blue. Here we go. Of course, it's right at the corner that needs to go down first. But we got to do. Okay. So again, we're going to go straight into the corner, for me anyway. You do what works for you. and pinch, and then we just help the rest kind of navigate over, keeping it as close to the lash line as possible. Pinching as we go. And we have a lash. All right. So I am just like blown away because that never goes that quick, that easy, that simple for me. But oh, I started spouting off. That's why I did that. Like, oh, you want drama, you want trouble? Here you go. All right. And sometimes that does happen where you'll have like a little bit of a lift off. If you can go back in there and, you know, kind of coax it, pinch it down to stay, great. If not, and you have to remove it and redo it, that's okay. If you have to just apply a little bit of glue at that corner, you can. Yeah, I'm gonna have to redo mine. It happens, ladies and gents. It happens. It does. It does. I usually, when that happens, try and clear my fingertips as much as possible, because when you go back in with more glue, it's already tacky. It's already got some of that stuff going on there. So, all right. But we press on. While this is drying down, I'm going to take my little brush and kind of sweep that away. Just fan from both ends. There we go. Okay, and you can see that under eye is set, baby. Okay. We're drying down a bit on this side too. So I am really pleased with the way the foundation turned out after all, because that was looking a little bit frightening at first. But I love adding like color to the face, because what it does is it adds dimension, it adds structure. You know, the contour is a really, really important like piece of that framework, but you know, just a nice cheek color can get you going too. Okay, let's try again, shall we? So clearing the fingertips, using a nice cotton round to get the junk and gunk off my fingers, and now we apply. So again, back to the corner we go. Oh, we get back there. Back to the corner. And just guiding it across. Keeping it as close to the lash line as we can. All right. And this time, I think we're set. Okay. So now we're going to do the under eye, and then we'll throw our mascara on. Okay. Excuse me, quick water break. So let's take, we're going to take a small brush. I need to use my color corrector. And I'm going to take this brush here. And I'm going to dip into the Marigold. I haven't used this one yet, and I want to see what she looks like. So I'm just going to apply it right here to the center. And then going in towards the center of the eye. Or towards the inner corner, rather. I like it. I like it, I like it. I want to pack some more of this in here. Okay. I am really digging that. And the same on the other side. We're going to start plopping this down in the middle. And working it towards the inner corner. Really packing that color in there. Because it said it's papaya pop. Not just papaya pop. We want it to pop. Okay. I love like fun like under eye colors. You know, it doesn't have to be as thick and as bold. Sometimes people will like, you know, do a little color in their water lines, but me, I want to do something fun. Now we'll blend this down a little bit once I get the second color on here, but I really want this to just kind of bam. Okay, and then we're going to take that kind of mid-toned, what are you, girl? Like a, I don't know, kind of like a cherry-kissed watermelon type shade. And I'm going to start at the outer corner and blend that right into the yellow. It's like a dark coral. Alright, right in that corner pocket. And blending it down. Okay, and now we're going to take a very tiny fluffy brush. Actually, let's see. Yeah, this one's a little fluffier. And I'm just going to kind of fluff that, buff that out. Okay. You can see it just kind of softens the line a little bit. It doesn't really alter what we're doing here. It just makes it look a little nicer. Okay. And now I'm going to take that same, actually, I have a smaller brush to use for that. I'm going to take this eensy weensy teensy little baby brush and there was another sparkly shade in here. I don't know if you could, it's just a very pearlescent pink, but I'm going to throw that right in the inner corner here. Okay. Okay, so I think it's safe to say our papaya is starting to pop here a little bit. I'm going to take that same shade because it is so super pretty, and I'm going to just take that into my brow line. Not necessarily ready for the highlight yet, but I just can't help myself. I'm just obsessed with that little color. Okay. There we go. Just taking it from the center of the brow down and out. Just kind of soften that up a little here. Okay. This is coming together nicely. I am super juiced. All right, so just a little bit of mascara. Let's go with the Ciate Triple Shot. I will use on top just to kind of get everything to blend my lashes to my lashes. And let's see. Okay. And now I'm going to just do little strokes to coat the hairs on the bottom. Oh my word. Okay. Try not to stab myself in the eye while I'm at it. Okay. Same on the other side. Oh boy, we need to really act like a team here, ladies. Okay. I'll deal with that in a minute. So far, so good. This just doesn't want to be married. It wants to stay single, wild, and free. Okay. Well, we're not going to worry about it. We're going to move on. I think next up, let's do these cheekies. I want to use something from Juvia. Let's see what we have here. I have the Saharan Blush Volume 2, which has more of these like peachy pinkies, which I want to use today. Let me find my blushy brush. There she is. So cute, so pretty. And I think I'm going to use a combination of the Lena and Tao, which are these pink and corals here. I usually just swirl a couple and just kind of see how it goes. All right. So it's a little light for what we did here. But let's see, I may take another color above those, but for now let's get this on. Both sides here. And with your blush, you know, I go kind of up, because we've already started to, like, you know, like I said, we're creating that shape, that depth to contour our face. And for that, I tend to carry mine up a little bit, up and around. You can even sweep some across your nose. All right. That's actually pretty. I like that. So I am going to go on top a little bit with Yara, which is this kind of more tan shade. I don't want to do too much because I still want that pink to be there, but I want to kind of deepen that up a little bit. Add a little layer of complexity. Okay, so it just kind of warms all that up. Okay, all right. I don't think we need to do another contour, so let's go to the highlight. And I want to go back to one of my favorites. This, oh my gosh, you guessed it, is also by Too Faced. This was a collaboration with Erica Jane. Now, you can read the title for yourself. I won't say it. But this, oh my gosh, I'm going to show you. It just, I don't know. It, you'll see the payoff on this is just phenomenal. So I am going to find a smaller let's see, because usually I'll take a brush, like I could do like this size to kind of like take the edge of it to do my highlight. Well, we'll see. Let's see how this goes. I usually glide it across both the pink and the kind of white gold shade. But do you see why this is my favorite? Do you see why this is my favorite? Because if I ever got lost in the woods and you needed to find me, I'm going to turn my cheekbones toward the sun. They'll say, oh, look, there she is. There's something down there, it's shiny. Yeah, it's my highlighter. Hello and thank you. I absolutely love, love, love it. Love, love, love it. It is just phenomenal. It's just a reminder that you sparkle, you glisten, you shine, you are pretty, valuable. Okay. All right. So let's move on to the lippy. I think we are going to outline dark, and then I'm going to go in with a nice, pretty pink lip gloss. So let's start with another. Actually, you know what? Let's use one of the newbies. I picked up a couple shades from Pat McGrath. I think the shade we're gonna use. Where's my other one? Let's see. Oh, now I'm throwing the pencils. Hold, please. Let's see. I could use, this is Night Fever. Ooh. This is Deep Void, which I think is the one we're going to use. And last but most certainly not least is 1980. How fun is that? You know what? It's fun enough to use it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create an outline with this one. I'm going to fill with this and cover with a pink gloss. So without further ado, let's start lining these lips. And yeah, I am lining over a little bit, or in this case, under. And carefully doing the same here. Pat McGrath's formula is just so creamy. You know, I know sometimes you may get sticker shock, but her products, yeah, they do it for me. So, okay, now that we've done that, let's fill her in. So when we're done, it should create a nice little ombre look to complement some of the fun colors we have in our eye look today. Okay. And lastly, my favorite lip gloss. This is Kiss Me, Kiss Me, by Juvia's Place. So pretty. You'll see. Just a moment. So I'm just going to tap this on. And then blend it all out. Just clean up a little bit. Okay. I think I'm gonna go in, yeah. I'm gonna get a little bit of that shade Mozambique because I did make a boo-boo on my face that I want to correct, but come on. Whose lips are juicy? Don't mind me. I love how this is coming together. I am pleased. Now, I am super excited because as we are, you know, getting our vaccinations and gonna be able to be around our friends and family, I'm super stoked because we're gonna start a new part of our programming here and have a new face. It's gonna be my bestie has graciously accepted me playing in makeup on her face. I think just kind of looking at where we are here, I think I may plop a little bit of a contour here because I do like the eye color. I do love how much the lip just kind of just popped. But I feel like we kind of have an imbalance in colors here. So I think I will use that contour to see if we can't even out what's not jiving with me right now. So I'm using that Morphe face palette and just gonna tap that bronzer in. And buff it out. And already you can see like it just created a nice dimension there. So let's go ahead and repeat on this side. Tap it in. And then buff it out. This side needs a little bit more buffering. Alright, and I'm still going to take some kind of at the top here. Just to add that dimension to the face. Okay, I think we are ready for our final spritz. Okay, so I'm going to go with one of my favorites, the Fix Plus Gold Light Spray from MAC. And we're all set. So let's let this dry down. Yeah, so this isn't where I saw this going when I started, but I'm certainly glad we've arrived here. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, leave them in the comment box below. As always, like and subscribe if you would like to see more. I just enjoy, spending this time just relaxing, doing one of my favorite things with you guys, and really just kind of seeing how far we can take this. And today, I mean, we pretty much knocked this one out the park. What do you think? All right. Oh. I don't know what I got on me, but I don't like it. Anyhow. All right. Tell me what you guys think. How did we do? How did we do? All right. Well, until next time, y'all, it's been a blast. See you later. Bye.